Well, I didn't have a ton of sales this week, but 3 of my sales were bolos that I don't hear talked about much in What Sold videos. So I'm excited to bring that information to you. And one of those sold for $2 shy of $100. Isn't it just so much more exciting to say it that way than just to say $98? I thought so. Today, I'm going to be going over each item that's sold in my resale business from the week of June 2nd through June 8th. And though I didn't have a ton of sales, I'm still proud to be able to say that I took $37 worth of thrift store clothes and turned it into $500. So at the very end, I'll break down with you how much of that $500 I actually get to keep and what portion of it went to eBay fees, Poshmark fees, all that good stuff. But I want to show you every single listing, how I had it titled, maybe why I titled it the way I did, and share with you individually what each item's profit was. If you're new here, hi, I'm JENNYSHANEYFELT. I'm an online clothing reseller. So for my business, what that looks like is I go to thrift stores, I sift through the racks and find the treasures, and I look for high quality clothes that are inexpensive that I can flip online on eBay or Poshmark for a profit. I've been doing it for a little over a year. I absolutely love it, and I love sharing my journey as I go. So if you are somebody who is always looking for extra ways to make extra income, or you just love thrift stores, or you're just looking to add something new in your life, you might want to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and you'll get a notification every single time I release a new video. All right, one more thing before I get into the first sale of this week. I want to ask you your question for today. So this one has nothing to do with reselling. So I want to know what hobbies you have. And this question came to mind because I have a new hobby that I am so in love with: watercolor painting. I cannot wait to read through the comments and see what hobbies you guys have. All right, let's get into this week's sales. So first I have this Talbots silk long maxi dress, size 8 petite, floral, sleeveless, vintage, cottage core. So right here, I'm clearly showing the stains that are there, like a little grease stain or something. And I did disclose that in the condition and in the description as well. Probably why it took it so long to sell. This one was listed for 309 days. My mom gave me this one, so I had no money into it. I listed it for $37 and it sold for $25, and that gave me a profit of $20.43. Okay, next. This is not something I sell. If you've watched me for a few videos, you've probably heard me mention my identical twin 14-year-old boys that are obsessed with basketball. So they both have listed a few things on eBay. Jake listed a few things, sold a few things, then got tired of doing the listing. But Lincoln has really stuck with it, and he sold several. So when he has sold this week, it's always exciting. I love for them at 14 years old already to know how they can create an extra stream of income for themselves. Okay, so I don't know a lot about basketball cards. This is LeBron James' son, Bronny James. You can see there how he had it titled. He had the year, the brand of card, Panini. I think it's Panini Prism is a type of Panini card. The card is numbered. It's number 243, I think is what that means. It's a rookie card, that's RC. And then he put the colors. And then he goes and he takes pictures of the corners, because apparently card collectors want to make sure that their corners are not mushed in. Takes a picture of the front and the back, and he sells them. He does a great job. So he sells them on my account, and we figure out what the earnings were, and I pay him and eBay pays me. So this one was listed for 0 days. He got an offer the very same day. I don't know what he paid for it, but he listed it for $45 and it sold for $30. That gave him a profit of $25.09, and that amount I'll take away from my profit at the end, so I'll mention that again later. Yay, I love it when my kids sell stuff on here. All right, next we have this. I don't know if you pronounce it Anac or A-N-A-C, not really sure. But here's your tag. When I was looking up comps, I was really excited about this brand. One of the weird things was, you see how it says by Kimmy underneath? Sometimes Kimmy was spelled with an I and sometimes it was spelled with a Y. So I don't know if like at first they spelled it one way and swapped to the other, or what, but I'm saying this is Anac by Kimmy. Y2K sheer sleeve artsy top, women medium black Korea. It was made in Korea. Lettuce hem, whimsy goth. And if you don't know what lettuce hem is, I'll show you, where it's like squiggly. How the hem is squiggly, that's a lettuce hem. If I see this brand again in the thrift store, I'm going to be excited after seeing all the comps that I saw. So I bought it for $5.70. I listed it for $35. 3 days later, a buyer offered me $29, and I accepted. That gave me a profit of $19.01. Next, my mom also gave me this one. I titled it Vintage Walt Disney World, Women's Extra Extra Large, Mickey Minnie Ice Skating Quilted Shirt. It had a few worn spots in it. So I like to take a close-up so they can see the details of the wear, but then I also take one further back so they can see, oh, you can't really see that. But I want them to know it's there and know what they're getting into. So that's how I do it when I have a flaw that you really can't see from far off. So let's talk about Disney. There are so many Disney items out there. Walmart makes Disney. You're not gonna most of the time be able to sell a Walmart Disney shirt for very much. But one of the things you do want to look for in a Disney item is if it says Walt Disney World or Disney Parks or Disney Resort. Those ones for sure are worth looking up. Also Disney Spirit jersey. I'm not an expert in Disney clothes, none of it. That's what I've learned along my way of this year of reselling. And anytime that I see those things and I run the comps, most of the time I'm buying it and it sells well. What that one was, plus this one was vintage. So I had no money into it because my mom gave it to me. It was listed for 36 days. I listed it for $39. The buyer offered me $29. I went back and forth on it. It's the middle of summer and this is a big heavy sweatshirt quilted type of material. And it does take up a lot of space in my inventory. I know if I held out, I would have been able to get that full $39, but it was in a slower week. It's the middle of summer for a winter item, so I went ahead and took it. My profit was $23.56. Okay, next is the first time I've ever found Babaton or any Aritzia piece. And I've heard other resellers that I look up to say they really are selective about what they pick up from these brands, but it was the first time I found it, so I had to pick it up. And when I ran the comps, it wasn't selling for that much, but I'm still thankful for the profit that I did get. So I am not one of those people who is like, you know, making a $2 profit and like, well, it's $2 more than I had. I'm not like that because I'm putting time into this. I'm putting time into sourcing it. I'm putting time into running comps. I'm putting time into photographing it. I'm putting time into listing it. I'm putting time into packaging it. I'm putting time into driving to the post office. So my time is worth more. The time that I put into an individual listing is worth more than a $2 or $5 profit. That's just the way I view it. Now, if you do it differently in your business, that is totally fine. I'm just sharing with you my views on how I look at things in hopes to help someone else. But there's other ways to do it right too. So I titled this Babaton Aritzia Black Short Sleeve Top, Women's Large Quiet Luxury, Ribbed. I was trying to write the word trim, but it cut off. Ribbed trim, so there's your Aritzia tag. It was listed for 10 days. I paid $3.15 for it. I listed it for $25 after checking comps. That's what I decided to go with. A buyer offered me $22, so I took it. That gave me a profit of $14.45. Pretty good, not bad at all. All right, next is one of the BOLOs of this week and the biggest BOLO, the $2 shy of $100 one. I don't even know how to say it. Sachin and Babi. I found this at a little hole-in-the-wall thrift store and they only wanted $4.99 for it. I thought it was cute. The tag told me there's something special about me. Look me up. See, it just looks like it's something. When you look at that tag, don't you just think, that's probably something? Sachin and Babi. Sachin and Babi, that's how I'm saying it. So I titled it, Sachin and Babi Women 10 Floral Chelsea One Shoulder Bow Gown. It retailed for $325. Garden wedding. I put a ton of pictures in here. This is Poshmark. It did sell on Poshmark, so I did use the stock photos. I did not have my body model that I have over there at this time. And by the way, if you're in the market for a body model, I'll have the link to the one that I decided to purchase in the description of this video. I have loved it. It has made my dresses look so much better. Anyways, I remember when I went to look up comps, there were several of this brand in this cut listed, but all of them were solid colors. So I never know, like, is that good that I have a rare piece, or is that bad that no one wants it? So I went with, it was good that I had a rare piece, and I priced it higher at $155. It was listed for 94 days with a couple of lowball offers. So when someone sent me an offer for $98, I did accept that, and that gave me a profit of $73.41. Now, I will say this is not one from that huge formal dress haul that you guys saw me where I had all the stuff shoved in my trunk, but there is one later that sold from that, so I'll show y'all that today too. Okay, next is another bolo. Although, if I ran across these shoes again, I might not pick them up. It took 369 days to sell. And now that I know a little bit more about what I'm doing, it's probably because the wear on the soles. I don't mind a little bit of wear on the soles when I'm buying shoes to flip, but these were really worn. But as a brand new reseller, when I first picked these up, I saw the brand, never heard of the brand, but I did look them up, and I about fainted in the store. So I bought them, and I might do it again. It just did take them a long time to sell. So look though, look how worn the bottom of these shoes are. I pictured these like a lawyer who has to be on her feet all day wearing these, but also it looks like someone danced on concrete for a living wearing these shoes. I'm not real sure what happened here, but obviously someone loved the heck out of these shoes, so I hope the buyer has as well. All right, so it's Salvatore Ferragamo, I think is how you say that. Salvatore Ferragamo. And sometimes you'll just see Ferragamo. If you see that brand, stop what you're doing, run the comps. You're probably going to want to get it. So my title was 10 2A AA Vera chocolate brown leather pumps bow heel Italian. There was some wear on the outside of the shoe. You can see that on the heel there. I made sure I took a picture of the insoles, which were a little wrinkly. There's those concrete tap dancing soles again. And I made sure to take up close photos of the wear on the sides of the bows and a little on the toe. So these shoes retail for about $1,000. And one's in much better condition than mine sold used for hundreds of dollars when I first looked them up. I think I initially listed these close to 100, but over time brought the price down. Yeah, here it is. I listed it originally for $122. I paid $6.99 for them, and over a year later, someone offered me $40, and I was glad to accept those and get those out of my inventory. So my profit was $26.28. I'd pick the brand up again for sure, just not with this much wear. Next, my mom gave me this one too. It was an In-N-Out burger t-shirt, and when I looked it up, I was like, yeah, this one is definitely worth listing. So I titled it In-N-Out Burger Retro T-Shirt Unisex Large Classic Cars Mike Rider Graphic. And that was because it said that right here. Mike Ryder had signed it, and other listings that had sold included that word, so I did too. Navy blue. It was listed for 39 days. I had no money into it. I listed it for $19.89. I offered someone $17.90. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $14.32. Next, here's another one I had forever. This one gets the award for the item that sold after sitting in my inventory for the longest amount of time. It was free, people, but it was an extra small. For me, extra smalls take a long time to sell. This was listed for 409 days. I titled it Free People Extra Small Crop Top, Boho, Lace, and Button Detail. Crinkle Burnt Orange Fairy. I dropped the price on this one. I reworked the title, the description, the little drop down details. I did so much to this to try to get it to sell. I thought it was cute. The rest of the world didn't think so. I paid $6.99 for this. I think I originally listed it for $38 and then had lowered it. The buyer offered me $15. I accepted. I got a profit of $4.97. Next is the third bolo of the day. Do you guys know about Desigual? I did look up the pronunciation of this, and that's the way Google says to say it. Desigual. Desigual. I also have a purse in this brand that's listed in my store still. It's been listed for a while, but this piece was only listed for 6 days. Let me tell you how I titled it. Desigual embroidered button shirt, artsy women, extra large to large, Western colorful denim. I mean, this is just so cute. It's got the brand embroidered right there on the back, the cool little swoopy lines. And look at these buttons. It's like 3 of them in a row. I just love this piece. So I did end up pricing higher than comps said I should price because there was not a single one listed like this. And it paid off because they bought it at full price.
Hooray!
All right, so I paid $4.19 for it. I listed it for $49. That's what they paid. And that gave me a profit of $35.01. All right, next, this is one that sold out of my giant accidental thrift haul of 52 prom dresses. How many have I sold out of there now? I think 3, maybe 4. I don't even have them. I don't even have half of them listed yet. But this one sold. This was one that I thought about not listing because it did have several loose threads. I just made sure that I disclosed them in the fit photos, in the condition, in the description. I titled it Y2K Blue Brown Beaded Evening Gown, Women's 8, Adrianna Papell Dress Overlay Prom. There's one of the loose threads. I got it from the side so they could see the loose threads. There's another angle of a loose thread. More. Here's your Adrianna Papell evening tag. So this one's only listed for 9 days. I bought it for $1.25. I listed it for $49. The buyer offered me $38 and I accepted. That gave me a profit of $30.22. Next is the last one of the week. This is Lane Bryant Cottage Core Plaid Prairie Dress, Women 16 Milkmaid Farm Tier Puff Sleeve. The word sleeve wouldn't fit in my title, so I just put puff. It was listed for 31 days. I paid $3.99 for it. I listed it for $28. The buyer offered me $23. I accepted. That gave me a profit of $41. Okay, that's all my sales for the week, but now I'm going to go over all my profits. and what I actually got to keep out of that. But before I get into that, if you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It helps small channels out like mine more than you know. And if there's anyone that you can think of that might want to add reselling to their life, hit the share button and it'll let you send it right on over to them. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so it can send you notifications when I release a new video. All right, so this week, June 2nd through June 8th, the total amount of sales, this is sales plus shipping. Now let me say, when I was going over sold prices with you earlier, that was just the sold price. That wasn't taking into account shipping. But when I'm looking at my numbers here at the end, I do have to look at sold price plus shipping. So everything that I sold this week added together, when I look at the sold price plus shipping, that was $499.41. I wish that was my profit. That would be awesome, but I don't get to keep all of that. So I have to subtract my fees. What amount went to Poshmark and eBay in platform fees? That was $78.23. All right, so then I have to subtract what did I pay to ship these items to the customer? $82.77. I also have to subtract what did I initially pay for these items in the thrift store. So all 12 of these items added together was $37.25. Oh, and I forgot to say earlier, 12 total sales, 8 of them were on eBay, 4 of them were on Poshmark. I also had to deduct the money that I paid to Lincoln for selling his card because that was his profit. So I had to take out $25.09 there. So that brought my profit this week, not my best week, but I'm still very thankful, $276.07. All right, that's all for this week. I'll see you next time.